We're the last of the living. Yeah, the last of the living.
You really like that song, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a really great song. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Screen Weens, starring me, London Hetty, and
Thomas Griffin.
that's Thomas Griffin. He's wearing a funny hat.
I
Can't see it, though.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see it in the banner. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to make a banner for us. It's pictures of us with you in the hat and me in the suit. So, yeah, look at the YouTube banner. There we are.
There we are.
Yeah.
That's us.
If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or on your phone because you downloaded it or something, just imagine, like, the Jolly Green Giant in a hot dog suit and, like, Gimli, but shaved, and then in a little hot dog hat.
Yeah, I guess that's...
Or like Mike Wazowski with two eyes.
I mean, I'll take that one, I guess.
Or like Shakira.
Shakira?
Yeah, Shakira. So yeah, we took a little break. I had my girlfriend over, so we skipped last week because I've been working a lot and dancing a lot.
I've been,
We were going to skip for you because I had backups, but we skipped for us. Sorry, I'm eating a shitty TV tray dinner because I'm fucking hungry and I bought it at the gas station and it tastes terrible.
It does not look like a quality product.
It's really bad.
The packaging alone makes me doubt everything about that.
Yeah, makes my tum-tum hurt. But I was hungry. So, Thomas, how you been?
Been alive.
I haven't even talked to Thomas in like 2 weeks, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except to go, hey, we can't record the podcast. We do it next week.
Yeah, that was pretty much my response. Basically, I've just been working a lot. I bought an Xbox One because...
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, you have a PS4, Xbox One, and a Switch now?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm the modern gamer.
I'm gaming, bro.
I'm gaming.
I got a gaming chair. I got my gaming vape. Got my gaming smoke bomb pipe.
Oh, yeah. So I've been mostly...
What are you playing on Xbox One that you can't play on PS4?
Halo.
Fuck, you're right. Well, no. What, are you playing Halo 5?
No.
Because the Master Chief Collection, if it's not, it's coming to PC.
Yeah. Well, believe me, I'm not like a fucking, I'm not defending the Xbox One here. In fact, I've got a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, no, I worked at GameStop for 8 months. Before that, like, when I was growing up, I fucking loved the Xbox original and the 360.
Yeah.
I was a hardcore, like, Microsoft fanboy. I was like, good. And then the Xbox One came out, and I'm like, oh, did you get an original or did you get an S?
I got the S because the main reason why I bought this is for when I get my Blu-ray or my 4K TV here in a few weeks. I want something to play 4K Blu-rays on.
I'm pretty sure the PS4 can. Or I know at least the Pro can.
I don't have the Pro.
Oh yeah, just FYI, if anyone's in the market for an Xbox One, don't buy the original. It's so bad. Buy an S, please. They're like new. They're like $50 more, and they're so much better.
Yeah, like I went into GameStop.
Plus, they're just sleeker looking too.
Yeah, I went into GameStop and I was looking, and they had for I think it was $200 for the original Xbox, and I was like, "Does this thing play 4K?" And he was like, "No, that's the S over here." I'm like, "Ah, fuck," and it was like $300. So,
but the S is like
plus they had a sick deal for.
Did you get the Minecraft one?
No.
What bundle did you get?
It came with a fucking basketball game of this year. I don't know. I gave the digital thing to Jordan because I didn't give a fuck about it.
I sold so many Xbox Ones.
But it came, so it was $299 for the Xbox One S, and then on top of that, no additional price, came with a free additional controller and a free headset. I was like, that's actually
a pretty good deal.
I was like, holy shit, that's a pretty good deal.
There's occasionally some good stuff. I bought, last year as like a thank you present for letting me stay with them for so long and stuff. I bought my brother, like, I tried to buy him some stuff, but I bought him a new Xbox because his was kind of shitting on him. So I bought him an S, and at the time, it was, if you had bought it, you got a free copy of Red Dead 2.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, there you go. Have fun.
Yeah. Most
I'm guessing he's probably only played it once. Like, he's probably like, but that's fine.
Yeah. It's there for when he wants to play it.
Yeah, which never, but that's okay.
Yeah. I've been there. There will be like whole
I almost
4 to 6 month periods where I won't touch like one of my consoles or like my computer or something. I'll just like get in a grind of like maybe like I won't use my computer for 2 months, but I'll watch like YouTube and shit on my PS4.
Yeah,
and then maybe sometimes it'll switch around.
I almost bought an Xbox One just to play with my brother, but we work opposite schedules. I would never be able to, so I'm like, nah, it's okay. And I'm already playing. I don't want to pay for subscription of PlayStation Plus and Microsoft, so just like, nah.
Yeah.
I am probably going to get another, because when I moved to Washington, did I ever tell you about my video game stuff before I moved to Washington?
I know that you like had a PS4 that you shared with somebody. I think you were telling me.
No, I had that was my PS4. I shared. Technically, this is me and Joe's PS4. But I had a PS4. I had a PS2. I had a PS1. I think I had a Nintendo 64, an NES, a Super Nintendo, a Wii, a Wii U, Xbox 360, Sega Dreamcast.
Oh, nice.
I had like 7 DSs. Just because I'm like, yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
And I just had a bunch of shit, and I'm just like, now I have to move. And I brought my N64 with me, but sadly I had to sell it a couple months ago.
Aww.
Before I got this job, because I had no money, and I'm like, I need this. So, I technically have enough money to rebuy it now, but I'll just wait until the future, until I get that craving.
Yeah.
But
you know,
I had so many.
If you want, you can always just borrow mine too.
Yeah.
I've got one.
And I was like, I'm going to get every N64 game. I didn't have a ton. I had like 50 though.
Oh wow.
If you have, there's a library. I think there's 316 US releases for the N64. There wasn't like a ton.
Did you have the South Park game?
I did. Which one? The first-person shooter? There was also the racing game.
Not the racing one, the one with the turkeys.
Yeah, I had that. If you go to the Bingleton Bash.
Oh, I watched that. That's the first Bingleton Bash episode I actually watched. I do remember that.
That was actually one of the more recent things we did.
Yeah, because you're like, I have a YouTube channel. I was like going through, I'm like, what can I watch that wouldn't spoil a game for me?
And you're like, I've played this game. I know there's turkeys.
Yeah.
That game's really bad.
Yeah, it was. I played like 10 minutes of it when I was a kid, and I turned it the fuck on.
Oh. But right now, I just have my PS4. I have a SNES Classic that I occasionally put on, and I play Joe's Switch a lot now. And then I have like 1,000, or I have like 600 games on my Steam library. Oh, nice. So I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. I've played like 3 games ever.
Yeah. I used to fucking game so much. Now I'm more into movies, so I was like,
That's not true. I've played slightly more than 3 games.
I've
played
probably
like 2 completion like games that are like story. I've beaten the
Peter
first
Jackson's King Kong.
I haven't beaten that. I need to.
You haven't beaten that?
No. I picked it up like a few months ago with the intention of beating it, because when I was a kid, video games and me did not click. I didn't get that. Like, I wasn't under the impression that, like, now I'm like, alright, I can just, like, sit here, I can, like, fuck with the controls and figure out, like, basically how this game is programmed and kind of, like, hack it or something, like, learn how it functions and actually play.
I'm hacking. I'm in the game.
Not really hacking.
He's hacking, guys.
You get, like, take a shortcut, and avoid things that programmers may want you to, like, fight or something that you can just, like, totally avoid. Shit like that. But when I was, like, a kid, I was just like, there is no pattern. There is no code. This game is entirely random, and it's just gonna fuck me up every single time, and there's nothing I can do to prevent it. So, I was always more of a movie kid, so... I've been making the jump. I've been playing games that are like milestones that I've never like played before. Like a year ago, I played through like the classic like Resident Evil games and like the remakes. I haven't played any of like from like 4 and up.
4 is a tremendous game. 5's pretty shitty, but I enjoy my time with it.
I hear 5 and 6 are pretty bad. I hear mixed things about number 7.
I really like 7. Besides, like. There's this really long section where you're on a boat near the end of the game. It's fucking terrible.
I think every Resident Evil game has its one section where it feels like you're really dragging. Because both, like... When I play the first one, there's like a part towards the end when you're like... kind of like going back and forth between the house. And you like gotta go through some labs and shit. And I think that part kind of drags a little bit. And I think the sewers... in both Resident Evil 2s, both the remake and the original, are pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not bad. Just, they drag. They're slow. It slows down there. But, I've been playing a lot of Friday the 13th again.
Oh, back into it? On PS4?
On my Xbox, because it was super cheap, and I was like, why not?
I was going to say, if it's on the PS4, I'll probably pick it up and play with you.
Well, I have it on my PS4.
Yeah, but do you have membership on your PS4 as well?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're paying for both. Mr. Big Money.
I've got... it came with a 3-month.
Ah, yes, it did.
And I bought like a 3-month card that I'm going to use after that. But, yeah, so I've been playing a lot of that. Getting good. That's like one of the games that I'm actually kind of good at. I can be. It depends on the match. That game's very circumstantial.
I think I enjoy the fact that like I played video games enough as a kid that I'm like naturally pretty good at games.
I'm
like,
getting better.
If I jump into a game, like if I jump into a game with my friends for the first time, like none of us have played it. If we're just all going up at like the same pace, I'll probably win every time, and then they'll just suddenly get better than me, and I'm like, shit, we gotta find a new game, because I'm like, I don't want to practice and get better, I just want to be naturally better.
Yeah.
But like I like that I'm pretty good at games. Like the only games I could say that I like am really good at is like, I think I'm really good at least like Mario Kart.
Yeah. I mean, I can refute that.
I'm not gonna say I'm anywhere near the top because I watch like speed runs and like high tier play of Mario Kart all the time, and I'm just like, ah!
Yeah. That's always like a discouraging thing when it's like, I think I'm pretty good, and then you like go check out like fucking speed runs or people like.
That's why I've never said I'm like, yeah, I'm the best at this game. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't want to be either, because most of the time I'm like, I want to play other games.
Something that you might be able to legitimately claim that title on is you might be the best person to ever play Black Baby, seeing as you beat it on your first playthrough.
I did.
It took me so, like, I probably played that, like, and died, like, at least, like, 10 times before I had finished it. Because it can be kind of stupid sometimes. I'm like, I'm going to bring this over to London's and I'm going to watch him suffer for a little bit. And then his first fucking run through, he did it. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
London's a god of Black Baby.
The dude who makes that game just released the updated version that I have not played yet.
Whoa, dude.
We'll have to do a sequel to
a sequel to that video over on your own channel.
Yeah, the Big Bro Cook channel, where I have just that one video.
That's the only
I've got some other like unlisted videos, but that's kind of just like my shit post channel.
Yeah.
I don't have any like actual like projects over there going on at the moment. I might eventually, but not currently.
Have you watched any movies in the past 2 weeks?
No,
besides the two?
Just those two?
Just those two.
Oh.
Played Friday the 13th. Did a little One Piecing.
Nice. Was that epic?
It was. Well, I mean, I'm still in the midst of it. Obviously, it's very long.
Yeah.
I've
never been a fan. I don't know what it is.
I'm at that point where, like...
I think I just really don't like the main character.
I could understand it. I'm at that point, because in high school, I'm like, I tried convincing so many people to get into One Piece, because I'm like, this is like the most underrated of like the big shonens. Because like, back when I was in high school, less people, especially in my area, were into it. There were lots of people who were like, yeah, I fucking love Dragon Ball and Naruto. I'm like, what about One Piece? And they're like, nah, too long. I'm like, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up. I could fucking talk about One Piece for fucking days and give like numerous reasons for why I love it, but I'm basically, unless I think someone could get into the show, I don't pitch it to them. Like, I'm not gonna try to like fucking be like, oh, you should watch One Piece, because I get it. It's currently about to crack 900 episodes. Yeah.
I'm like in the middle of watching Bleach, and I think that...
And see, same thing can be said, because I don't like Bleach.
Yeah, it's fine. Which I think that's like 450 episodes or something.
Yeah, and the manga goes on beyond where the anime ends.
I think it goes on for another 20 volumes or something like that.
Yeah, it goes on for quite a while, because it was going for quite a few years after the anime was canceled.
Well, I watched a lot of movies in the last 2 weeks.
What'd you watch?
So the night after we recorded the last podcast, I saw Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
How was it?
Terrible. I was disappointed. I didn't think it was going to be great, but...
No,
oh, God.
I
thought it was going to be okay.
I saw the trailer, and I saw that they were doing, fucking
oh, God.
Goosebumps
the kids
type.
Are so fucking bad.
Yeah. I loved those books growing up, and I knew that there was no way that they'd be able to, like, adapt it into, like, a cinematic format and have it, like, work the same. And I was just like...
overuse of jump scares, terrible dialogue, terrible writing, like, laughably bad writing. Like, I had a fun time because it was so fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, do you remember the bloated lady?
Yeah.
That scene was actually pretty good. I enjoyed her scene in that. Like, there was no jump scare in it. It was just, like, her slowly moving.
Yeah,
that was a good scene, and there was really good lighting.
I'm assuming they showed most of the money shots in the trailer.
Yeah, like, it was... The shot of her in the trailer, that whole scene is, like, that shot, but longer, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just, like, much longer. But that was pretty good.
Yeah, I from what I hear, I heard they did a pretty good job with, and from what I've seen from, like, the trailers, like, they look like the drawings of
yeah, like, some of the creatures were pretty good. But
yeah, the formatting of the story, like, it's a bunch of fucking folklore. They should have done it. I guess if any way, I would probably have gone, like, the kind of, like, creep show anthology.
It should have just been an anthology movie.
But, yeah, instead... what is it? It's like
instead of having Andre, whatever his fucking name is, they should have had Michael Doentry or whatever.
Oh, the dude who directed Trick or Treat.
Yeah,
he was probably busy directing the
Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Well, that worked out for him. Well,
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Me neither, but it kind of bombed in the box office.
Yeah,
not bombed, but it didn't do very well.
Yeah. My expectations for it weren't very high because
I haven't seen the other before the.
I didn't like the 2014 one, which is the one that
And you thought Kong Skull Island was kind of fun but bad, right? Or?
Yeah, because that one
I also haven't seen.
That one was clear that it was like, oh, we're going for like a real kind of B movie feel with this. Well, I felt that the Godzilla, like, TriStar movies took themselves a little too seriously.
Nah.
And the first one didn't show enough Godzilla. I don't know if the second one improved on that or not. I'm sure it did. I'd hope so. I'd hope if they took one criticism from the first one, it was that.
We watched Ratatouille also.
Oh, nice.
For movie day that week. You were there.
I was not there.
Yeah, for food films.
Didn't you guys also watch Chef?
Yeah, which I love personally.
Yeah, no, I like Chef.
Yeah, I think Lucero looked on your letterbox and saw you gave it like a 6 or something. And he was like pissed. I'm like, Lucero, Thomas can like not love a movie as much as you, and it's okay. Because like everybody was like crying during Chef.
Was it? I don't remember it being emotionally moving.
I mean, just
there's
a lot of like kind of sad like family moments, just like heartwarming. Like it's just
because I remember it's like him like freaking out. He's like, I'm a meme, and then he like gets fired and opens up the fucking touring food bus or whatever with his son and his friend or whatever. I watched it a couple years ago.
I've seen that movie like 6 or 7 times now. I really fucking like that movie.
I think it's a good movie. Just because I give a movie a 6 doesn't mean I don't fucking like it, Lucero.
Does he even listen to the podcast?
No. I think...
No.
I don't think he does.
So here's to you, random audience members.
Fucking... All my friends that I've talked to who know about the podcast are like, yeah, I checked out like half the first episode. I'm like, oh, great. Like, Jordan, he's like, oh, yeah, once you guys, like, talked about the thing, I turned it off. I'm like,
what?
Wow,
I guess I got better friends than you. Because I got, like, my buddy Pierre. He listened. Pierre, I know you're listening. He listened to it, like, right as it
Pierre, I respect you for that, but I disrespect you for your opinion about movies, like, before the year 1990. That is a shit opinion, my friend.
Or it's funny.
Does he watch any of our classic? Does he watch any?
No, I don't think he watches any of them.
Okay,
he's too busy gaming. He's always fucking gaming and woo.
Games, rise up, gamers, gotta go get some gamers.
Is that the rewrite of Dungeon Tan?
Have we brought that up on this podcast?
No. When in high school, freshman year, I was in a Friday parody, Friday the song by Rebecca Black, called Dungeon Tan. Dungeon Tan, for people that don't know, is the tan you get from your computer screen when you sit in your room all day and are gaming, pretty much. It's saying you're a loser.
Oh man, you're really leaving a lot of room for interpretation right there.
Yeah, you're a fucking loser. Yeah, so I was in that. That was great. It's very cringy, but I show it to everyone because, like, you gotta own your cringe.
Yeah.
I try to own all my cringe now. There was a couple years where I'm like, no! But I just try to own all my cringe. Because if I own all my cringe, people can't bring it up in a bad way.
That's true.
Ooh. Then I went, I rewatched Brigsby Bear. Good movie. Great fun. I fucking love that movie. I love that movie. And then I watched this movie called R100.
Like R the letter?
Yeah, like Room 100, pretty much.
Okay.
It was a Japanese film. Ooh, I already know it's going to be bad. Just kidding. It was about this businessman who signed up at this, like, BDSM gentleman's club.
Oh, yeah, I was reading your
yeah, he signed up for this, like, gentleman's club thing where it's like he signs a contract for a year where, like, these dominatrixes can just, like, come up and, like, dom him, like, at any time.
Yeah, fucking demean him and shit.
Yeah, which, you know, I get the appeal, but I'll fucking sign a year contract, and obviously things go awry.
Do you have a safe word? Like kumquat or something?
Nope, no safe word. And then they start breaking the rules, and then it's like, oh, it was okay. Like, the first half was much better than the second half. The second half just was like a little too wacky for the sake of being wacky. Like, yeah. It was okay, though. It was interesting. Like, I don't regret my time with it. It was definitely like an interesting watch. However, then I went on a binge of 3 movies that I all gave 1 out of 10.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of the movie Band Slam?
No, I haven't.
It is a 2009 film. I watched it because it has Vanessa Hudgens in it.
From High School Musical?
Yes, and I'm like, I gotta...
She in anything else? Other than this. And
Spring Breakers.
I still haven't seen it.
She's in Sucker Punch. She was in Bowler last year. Or no, that was this year with Mads Mikkelsen. It wasn't very good, but she was in it. She was in Journey 2. Like, she's still in stuff.
Journey 2 with Dwayne?
With Dwayne, yeah.
Dwayne The Rock
She was in Second Act with Jennifer Lopez last year.
Isn't it funny that you could take, like, any part of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's name and it could sound like a nickname for a penis?
The
Rock, but...
Would you like to meet the...
Hey, would you like to meet little Dwayne the Cock Johnson over here? I took the obvious joke like that.
Dwayne?
Yeah, meet Dwayne Johnson.
Just Dwayne.
Just Dwayne.
You want to see my Dwayne?
Sounds
but,
like
that
Dwayne.
was about a band in high school. And then this, like, sophomore kid, like, comes in. He's like,
is she supposed to be a high school?
Yeah, it's in 2009. She was like...
Oh, okay. I
think she was 20 at the time. Like, this was right around, like...
I thought you were saying this movie came out last year, and I was like, yikes!
No.
Like, I get the stereotype of, like, 30-year-olds playing high school.
The main character's like, yeah, I'm not like other kids. I listen to, like, alternative rock, you know? It was just so fucking pretentious and so fucking stupid, because I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I know everything, but I'm a really nice guy, but I'm also a dickhead. And it was like, none of these characters make any sense, and the music's bad, and all of the shots are bad, and all the dialogue is bad. And it was, terrible film. And then I jumped right into this movie called Saint Agatha, because I love watching terrible movies about nuns. It's my fucking jam. Terrible fucking horror movies about nuns.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah. Yep. It's about a place in the 1950s. Yep.
That's scary. That's old.
This lady's pregnant and she doesn't have any money or something, so she like gets sent to this like nunnery. And they're like, oh, we're gonna help you, but then she's like, oh, something spooky's going on, but not really, it's just a bunch of shit. They're like, oh, we secretly, spoilers for this really shitty movie that came out last year. They're like, yeah, we get pregnant women to come here, and then when their babies are born, we pretend that they died, and then we sell them off to people.
Wow.
So they pretend the babies die, and then they just sell them to people.
For like $200?
For like $50K probably. Like,
did you get my reference there?
No.
It's from a movie we watched this week. Because there's that one part.
Yes. I was like, baby for $200. What does that remind me? Because I literally wrote that down in my notes too. And I'm like, oh. But I watched that one like a week ago, so I was like, oh.
I just watched both of them last night. So.
Oh, nice.
Or I guess yesterday.
So that was terrible. Like, really fucking bad. And then I watched Sextuplets, which is a new movie with, what's his fucking name? It came out on Netflix like 3 days ago. a week ago or something. It's with Marlon Wayans.
Oh.
And
so
it's
this
by
is going to be quality.
Michael Titties?
No.
His name might be Titties, but he's the one that directed A Haunted House and A Haunted House 2.
Oh, those classics.
50 Shades of Black. And Sextuplets is Marlon Wayans playing 6 people.
See,
is
he in his like little man form? He's like
there's a part where he's a little guy, and there's a part where he's a big fat lady, and he's like, I got a big butt.
Oh, did that actually happen?
Yeah.
Okay, I was joking when I was like, it'd be funny if he was like the little guy form, because that movie, was it called Little Guy? Was that what it was called?
Oh.
Little Man?
Yeah, He wasn't like a baby.
Okay.
He was like a guy with like, he had like a genetic deficiency, so he had like tiny little bones or something.
Can you talk about how awful both, well, this is my personal opinion, I'm sure a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, what the fuck did Thomas just say? But I think that White Chicks and Little Man are bad.
I haven't seen Little Man. I don't want to.
You probably...
I don't think White Chicks is terrible compared to most films like it, but I do think it's really bad. And like, everybody I know loves White Chicks, and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't fucking get it. It's offensive, it's badly made, almost none of the jokes land.
Yeah, no,
And I'm not saying it's offensive because they're like, oh, we're white. Because, like, that,
I think
fine with that.
I think it's offensive on multiple fronts.
Like, there's a lot of, like, fucking really shitty things.
Yeah, just a lot of bad, just
like
like
there's a lot of
sexism
and
like,
homophobia. Like, I don't care that they're making fun of white people.
For
I'm fine with making fun of white
2000s
people.
comedy movies.
I fucking hate comedies from the mid 2000s, pretty much. Like there's like a lot of them are really bad.
There are ones that I can like think of that like I liked at one point, but I don't know if I'd like now. Like one that comes to mind because when I think of like comedies from like that era that I enjoyed, like Accepted was like the first one that came into my mind.
Dude, I watched Accepted for the first time like 2 years ago. Or a little. I actually do think Accepted is a good like.
I was gonna say
Accepted is really good.
I haven't watched it in like probably like 10 years now, maybe.
I was
maybe
surprised
less.
at like how little like really shitty jokes like most of the jokes aren't demeaning to people really.
Ask me about my wiener!
They're just stupid jokes, but they're not like shitty to people. So I was a pretty big fan of that movie when I watched it for the first time, and I was surprised.
I'm sure it probably like feed into like some fucking like or cliches that I hate. Like I'm sure it probably goes through that like because I haven't seen it in so long. Like I'm sure it goes through that mopey fucking end of second act where it's like two of the characters are fucking mad at each other or some generic shit like that.
But that still happens in like every fucking comedy movie.
Yeah, because
I don't need it. Like, just keep it going. Keep the ride going. I don't need it.
I'd rather watch a movie that's like full absurdist comedy 100% as opposed to like something that's like has like absurdist humor in it, but then tries to water it down with like a fucking bad structure or format. Like,
and I think sometimes it works well. Like I'm fine with like the fallout in like the film I Love You Man, which I do fucking love that movie.
I don't know if I ever finished that movie in its entirety. I know I definitely saw like chunks of it, because I remember like the part where they're at like Lou Ferrigno's house. He's like, that dude's about to fucking fart. Look, he's got a fart, and he like lifts his leg. He's like, oh, I totally just farted.
Like the first 10 minutes.
I also remember like as there's like that part of the film where he's like, oh man, yeah, me and like Paul Rudd's like, yeah, me and fucking, I'm blanking on his name.
Jason Segel.
I was wanting to call him Peter. Yeah, Siegel, whatever, however he takes it.
Siegel.
But fuck, what was I saying? I know that, like, she's like, you need a best friend, and he's like, alright, I got a best friend, and then she's like, this guy fucking sucks, though, find a new best friend or something, and he's like, but he's my best friend, though. Okay, that's just
like me and Thomas.
Is that?
Yeah, because we're best friends.
Huh? I mean,
I'm showing him my wiener right now.
It's nice. I'm one of those people that has, like, the philosophy of, like, I don't have a best friend.
I just say multiple people are my best friend.
Yeah,
I got, like, tiers, so I don't have one best friend.
I've got, like, the tier list, too, because there are too many people that I've got, like, such close relationships with, and I feel like if I was to, like, be like, this is my best friend, I'd have, like, 20 people who'd be like, what the fuck, Thomas?
So when I say somebody's my best friend, I'm just like, you're in the top tier. You're in the S tier of friends.
Yeah, I'd put you in my S tier list.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm in. I'm finally in. That means that I'm in his will and I can assassinate.
Oh.
Yeah, so that movie with Marlon Wayans was very bad. Did I watch any good movies after that? No, I watched another bad movie called White Chamber.
Oh, what's the plot of that?
Do you remember the Egyptian guy from The Mummy? Who was, like, in the band of warriors that, like, came to help them?
Does he have, like, long hair and a beard?
I don't know if he had long hair. Yeah, I think so.
Well, not, like, super long, but, like, longer hair. Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
I watched the movie because he was in it. That might have been a mistake, because it was really bad. Also, the main character from The Descent was in it. Those were, like, the two main characters.
Okay.
But, it was about the UK in the future in the middle of a civil war. And they have, like, this new serum that, like, makes people go crazy.
Oh.
And, like, super powerful that they're gonna, like, give to their soldiers to fight the enemy. And they're, like, testing it on him. It's just a load of stupid shit. And there's a...
Were you about to say a load of spaghetti?
Yes, I was thinking about it. It's just terrible. And there's a really fucking bad twist at the end. And it's just like, why? Why?
Why would you compare it to spaghetti? I like spaghetti. Spaghetti's...
It's a load of spaghetti, though. Too much.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
That
too much
wasn't as
spaghetti
bad
is
as
too
any
much
of them.
Spaghetti.
Then I watched The Goddess. And then I'm like, well, I really... Spoilers, I really like The Goddess. We'll get into that, though. Then I watched Left Behind. The Nick Cage Rapture film.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were talking about the Nick Cage version or the Kirk Cameron version. But, yeah, I heard it's not good.
Awful.
I never bothered.
Also, Nick Cage, like, looks like he's gonna fall asleep in every scene he's in. It's, like, hilarious.
I'm pretty sure that this is, like, one of the first batch of movies that he was in after he went, like, really bankrupt, like, really broke.
Yeah, 2014, it was, or 2013 or something. Probably around then. Because he was still, like, riding good on, like, Ghost Rider 2. And then 2012 is probably when it started. And that's why, like, once you hit, like, 2016, like, he starts being in, like, more good films again. Like, there's still a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
He was in a cop propaganda film that was just fucking awful last year called 211, I think. It was, like, my third worst film I saw last year out of, like, the 112 films released last year I saw.
Damn.
I watched The House Bunny for the first time.
Oh,
with Anna Faris.
Remember not liking
it. Yeah, it's not good. I watched it because I like Emma Stone, and I'm just like, I want to... she's like the other main character besides Anna Faris.
Is Chris Pine in that movie?
No.
Who's the guy in that movie?
Some guy. I can't remember.
Oh, it's Colin Hanks, isn't it?
Let's check. It's Christopher McDonald.
What?
Well, he's in it.
It is Colin Hanks.
Okay. Yeah, no, I remember that movie being pretty bad. You want to watch... I don't know if you'd particularly like it. You might, but Smiley Face, it's a pretty good affair.
I've heard Smiley Face is good. And then I watched Duck Duck Goose.
Oh, yeah?
Have you heard of that one?
I've heard of Duck Duck Goose. I don't know if I've heard
It's, it was a, produced in China, computer animated film. But when they released it in the States, they had Zendaya and Jim Gaffigan on the voice cast. So I'm like, I gotta watch this.
How do all of these imported animated movies always tend to land one or two really relevant actors?
That movie was terrible. Oh, so fucking bad. It was really fucking boring. I was like, oh my god, I'm so bored. But I wanted to hear Jim Gaffigan as a goose because I'm like, Jim Goose again.
Huh.
He was pretty good.
Don't worry, I'm almost done. I think. Oh, and then I got into watching another good movie. I watched a movie called American Factory that just released on Netflix 2 days ago. Or 3 days ago, maybe. It's fucking sad. It's a documentary about
Is it? I've seen a photo kind of circulating around on social media of this is the photo that got child labor laws in the United States. Is it have something to do with that?
No.
Okay. I heard American Factory and I was like, is it?
It's about it's a factory that shut down in 2008, I think.
Okay.
In just Dayton, Ohio, I think. It was a GW car parts factory. And thousands of people lost their jobs when that happened. But in 2015, this Chinese billionaire bought the factory and opened it up. And I think it's called Fuyao Industries. They're one of the world's leading manufacturers of car glass,
okay.
For windshields and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And so they reopened this factory, but it's just this really intense thing of these people hoping that they're going to be able to work again, but they're making half of what they did. And later on it's talking about how they're losing their jobs to he's just bringing in robots. They bring in 1,000 Chinese workers right at the beginning because they're a Chinese company to train all the Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And there's there's part of it that's really, really sweet because there's this random white guy in this rural area. You're thinking he's going to be really racist, and he becomes best friends with these regular ass Chinese workers, and they go to each other's house and stuff. And then later he gets fired for no reason, and it's so fucking sad. And there's this giant culture clash of racism going on. But at the same time, there's this, the Chinese workers are angry a bit because, in China, they work 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, not just 5 8-hour shifts.
Yeah.
And they're just these stupid Americans won't work more. It's a fucking intense, but it's a great documentary. And I was expecting it to lean pretty heavily into this anti-China sentiment because it kind of hinted at it early on, and it was definitely this anti-Chinese billionaire sentiment, which I definitely agree with. But it was really nice. There was this one of the main characters they talked to. I think his name was Wong, and it was pretty harrowing the stuff he was talking about. He's I haven't cried in 25 years, but when I came to America, I cried the first night because he's all the workers got sent to America without any extra pay, and they had to be there for 2 years without seeing their family.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's just there's so much. Oh, and he's such a sweet guy, and he's just trying to be nice and teach people. It was a great documentary.
I'll have to check it out. That sounds really interesting.
No, I really enjoyed it, and it's really sad though, but it was very well made. Then I watched a documentary about Second Life.
Oh, nice.
Called Life 2.0, which was dumb. It was okayly made. It was alright.
Okay.
I enjoyed part of it. It's just kind of sad. Because a lot of the people that, like, delve really into Second Life, or really into, like, any video game where they can live in a virtual reality, have something bad going on in their life.
Escaping it's shitty reality.
Like, media is classic escapism. Like, you jump in to escape from other things in a lot of ways, or in a lot of cases. Like, if you see somebody doing that constantly, that's what's going on. And it's just kind of sad. Because it's like, I know that movie, like, most people that watch it will just make fun of the people on it. And I get it in some degrees, but some of the people, I'm just like, I hope this person got help.
Yeah. Do you ever, I don't know what TV show it's from, but there's, like, this, like, reality kind of, like, it was like a true life kind of show that had, like, an episode that went, like, viral on the internet, like, some odd years ago, about, like, this woman who was obsessed with TMNT, and she had, like, the, like, actual movie heads from, like, the third movie. She had, like, an entire room devoted to it. You can, like, find the video.
I have not seen that.
I look up, like, obsessed TMNT lady on YouTube later or something. I don't remember the exact.
It's why, like, I just don't enjoy watching films like, or TV shows like My Strange Addiction, or like like Hoarders, because I'm just like, this is somebody with, like, a mental illness or extreme depression or something, and I'm like, I don't really like making a spectacle of this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
It just makes me uncomfortable.
I don't watch that kind of shit typically, unless it's, like, on, like, something that's in my, like, just, if it has some sort of, like, cross-contamination with something I'm interested in. Like, the TMNT lady is something I can, like, kind of dive into, because it's like, oh, I like TMNT. This seems
like,
kind of interesting.
Is that my mom? No.
That's how I am with One Piece.
Yeah.
No,
realistically,
if it's any series that I'm like that with, it's Evangelion, because I have, like, all of Neon Genesis on VHS, I have it on DVD, I have it on Blu-ray, I have the entirety of the manga, and then I bought all the spin-off manga. And
so you don't even have the rebuilds on DVD or Blu-ray?
I've got the rebuilds.
Are you excited for the 4th?
Yeah.
Does that come out next year?
I think so. I've been... 2020 is, I think, the year that it's slated for. But, like, every year, it's been like, yeah, it's coming next year. But I think that there's enough out about, like, the production now that it's... People are pretty confident it's coming out next year, I think. I
haven't seen any of them.
You'd probably be better off just waiting at this point until the 4th one comes out. And then
is that going to be the final one? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the 3rd one came out. I want to say almost
came out like 2011, right, or something like that.
I want to say 2007 or 9.
Okay, so it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, no, like the 3rd one came out when I think like Lucero and me were in like middle school.
Jesus, okay. So like yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Got him.
Because I stopped by my old middle school. Not really, but I don't.
I run this podcast with a middle schooler.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas.
I just hang out with middle schoolers.
Fucking
Roman Polanski, is that you?
Jeez. But yeah, I've been trying not to like look at stuff for it because I want to go in like 100% blind as possible. I'm just hoping Lucero won't show me something because he spoils everything for me. Spoiled fucking more Spider-Man shit for me from Far From Home. I'm like, dude, come on.
I haven't seen it. I'm dumb.
Yeah, pretty much. he was like, oh, yeah, and he like just dropped the spoiler, and I looked at him dead in the eyes. I'm like, what? What did you just say? Ah! And I screamed. Because it was, in my opinion, oh god. You can, spoiler alert, J.K. Simmons.
He spoiled that.
I'm like, dude, what? That's the second Far From Home spoiler he spoiled for me. I'm like,
what was the first? Spoilers again.
That Mysterio was the villain. And that one I wasn't too upset about because I figured they were just trying to mislead us. But I knew that there was the possibility. I'm like, God damn it, Lucero. Stop spoiling shit for me.
Okay, couple more films. Here we go.
I'm sorry, I watched a lot. I watched the S. Craig Zoller film, Brawl in Cell Block 99.
Oh, I've heard stuff about that, and I've heard stuff about his other... I've seen a little bit, like clips from...
What, Bone Tomahawk?
Yeah.
And, he's like this ultra-violent director kind of thing. He's teaming up with Park Chan-wook to make this ultra-violent Western. And I'm like, that's interesting. Brawl in Cell Block 99 had some rough parts, but I thought was very good.
There's a part.
Spoilers for, this death scene near the end. He kicks in a guy's head into the floor, and then while he has, his foot down, drags his face across the concrete, and then flips him over, and it's just his skull is smashed in, and all his skin is torn off, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw...
But Vince Vaughn in that is fucking great.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
There's some rough parts, and
I'll probably check it out eventually. I'm not too eager, because I've seen, bits and pieces of Bone Tomahawk, and I thought what I had seen of that wasn't particularly good. But Red Letter Media just did a review on it, where they go and talk about it, and there was some stuff that they were saying in there that kind of compelled me to at least watch the full movie.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, because I've heard from people it's really good, but the bits I saw, I was just like, this doesn't seem very good. So maybe in the context of a full movie, I would like it more. But it just seemed kind of corny, the bits I saw. I'm not going to say anything, though, because I don't want to spoil it for you or any of the audience members.
And then I watched... the Invader Zim movie came out on my birthday. I'm now 22 years old. I'm very old now. I'm dead. So I watched it literally the second it came out.
Okay.
And then I rewatched it 2 days ago. And it's literally my number 4 movie for the year right now.
Oh, okay.
But I'm very... Invader Zim is probably my favorite cartoon. I fucking love it. And, I love it so much.
I enjoyed what I saw of it.
And then I watched the McG movie, Rim of the World, from this year. Terrible.
Oh.
Not going to even talk about it. Just don't watch it. Last year, he made a movie called The Babysitter that I actually thought was okay.
Oh, yeah.
It was goofy. It was a goofy kind of... It felt like a B movie with this kid. It was dumb, but I enjoyed it. But so I thought this one might be the same thing, and I think he was going for the same thing, but it was just really fucking bad and pretty fucking racist. And I was like, oof, and sexist, and boring. And then today, 6 hours ago, I watched Jupiter Ascending for the first time.
Oh yeah,
have you seen that?
No.
It's by the Wachowski sisters.
I know who it's by.
That's a bad fucking movie.
Yeah.
But it's also pretty fucking funny. Channing Tatum has weird little elf ears, and he has these rocket boots, and he's flipping around, kicking aliens.
Yeah, I want to say, back when I did watch Nostalgia Critic, I watched an episode he did on it.
Oh. The only things I really liked, I thought some of the space sequences, looked pretty cool, and I thought some of the, designs for like the planets and stuff. Like, look, some of the like
are they
designs were cool.
Are they coming back? Because I heard that they were doing.
They're doing Matrix 4.
Okay,
and I'm like, oh, they made one good Matrix movie.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen the third. Like I saw it a long time ago. Like I know exactly what happened.
I haven't,
but I haven't seen it in its entirety. I think so. I don't want to rate it. And the second one's bad, but it has some enjoyable parts. I would say.
I saw
I like the ghost people.
I saw the first one when I was a kid, and I remember not liking it very much. And I didn't watch either of the sequels, and I haven't watched it since. I don't know. I need to rewatch it because I don't know if it was like the stylization that turned me off or what. I think it was mostly the style, but I think I owe it.
But they did
chance.
Speed Racer.
Speed. Oh yeah,
I really like Speed Racer.
I haven't seen I've seen like commercials and stuff for it, but I know that movie has like an insane cult following. Like I know like people who like it like really fucking like it.
Aaron Hansen of the Game Grumps. It's his favorite film.
Oh, is it?
I'm like, okay. It has some pretty glaring problems, so stop right there. It's fine that
yeah, it is his favorite.
But I'm just like, oh, I want to go that far for me at least. I think it's their best film personally, okay. And I've seen most of their films. I've also seen Cloud Atlas, which I do think is pretty good.
I have not seen it.
It's too long, and
don't they like?
And
isn't there like white Asian face?
Yeah, it's like that was a pretty bad idea because the whole idea is like in the book, all these characters that they're going back are like connected, like spiritually, pretty much, and they do the same thing, but they have the same actor play them. Which I'm like, I get where they're coming from. It's kind of just lazy to me because it's like if they're played by the same person, then you know that they're connected.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, why didn't you just, if you were going to have them lead into an Asian character, just have the original person playing them be Asian? But they wanted these, like, big names. And,
yeah.
Oof. Besides that part, and some pacing issues, and it being too long, and it's okay. Like, it's enjoyable. And then I also, right before you got here, I watched a movie called Eerie. There was a horror film from the Philippines.
How was it?
Bad. Really bad. The beginning was okay. I was like, hey, this might be something good. And then just terrible second act, third act. And that's what I watched.
All right. Well, that sounds like you've had an eventful, cinematic-filled couple of weeks.
Yeah, I have. I've been going... Oh, okay. Movie... Oh, it's been an hour of me just talking about films I've watched this week.
We had a little bit of other banter. We talked about, like, Xbox.
Yeah, we talked about the gaming.
Yeah, gaming.
Dungeon Tank. Yeah. Thomas, you got a film idea?
Yeah, I did. Let me look at your board games again and refresh my memory of what it was.
Did you make up a game about... Did you make up a movie about my board game?
No. Okay. So, this dude wakes up one day and he's absolutely, like, fed up with his life. His life's mundane. He works a boring office job. And one day, his boss just comes up to him and makes him really mad. And he's just, like, thinking. He's like, man, I really fucking hate my boss. And he, like, gets this, like, pent-up emotion. And then, just suddenly, his boss turns into a rabbit. He's like, what the fuck? Turned his boss into a rabbit. He's like, can I do that? Can I just turn people into rabbits? So he tests out his theory. He can. So he's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn everyone on Earth into a rabbit. And he does. And he's happy. He's content. He's like, yeah, I'm alone with all these rabbits. It's awesome. But then, slowly, they start, like, regaining bits of their, like, humanity, and all the rabbits are, like, conspiring to, like, kill him. And that's my movie, bitch.
I thought you were going to say, so then he's surrounded by a bunch of rabbits, and he gets really good with, like, a gun. And then Alejandro Jodorowsky comes up to him, and he's like, I have to defeat.
He's like, get over here. He's like, I knew you were coming, so the rabbits started dying. That's my film pitch.
Well, then I'll go with a board game as well.
I was just looking.
You saw Bunny Kingdom.
I saw Bunny Kingdom, and the one that had the fucking Kim Jong-un on it over there, and that's where that came from.
That's Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a board game, for those who don't know. It's in its prototype stages still, but it's a dice rolling game. It's about this, in the future, the whole, like, galaxy is at peace, pretty much. We found a bunch of alien races, and everyone's kind of living in harmony. But, like, there's this big group of people that, like, are in, like, the slums and stuff who, like, really fucking hate that it's really peaceful. Sorry. That's okay. So they, like, have an underground fighting club, like Fight Club or something. But it's just, like, this underground arena where they fight. And I really would love, like, an animated, like, companion piece to that. Just about, like, one of the characters. Just going through this arena. It'd be like that. It's like the Dragon Ball Z arena arc or whatever.
They're called tournament arcs, and they are a shonen archetype.
The arena arc from the Dragon Ball show.
Okay.
I know it's a tournament arc. They have it in Yu-Gi-Oh! As well.
Yeah, it's like in every shonen anime. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Naruto, My Hero... Fucking every shonen has a tournament arc.
No tournament in Bleach.
Is that true?
I mean, they don't have I don't think they ever have a tournament. He, like, goes up against everybody.
I don't know why I'm, like, sitting here, like, thinking about it. I guess I'm thinking about, like, if I've ever, like, heard or, like, seen anything that looks like it, but
you could stretch the Soul Society arc,
even like the manga did.
I don't think so. I haven't gotten that far. They might have had it later on. I didn't get all the way to the end of the anime. So,
I mean, I don't know, but if it doesn't, kudos to it.
But even, like, the second arc of the anime where they invade the Soul Society, you're like, that's like a tournament, because they're going through each person, they're getting stronger. You could just argue that every arc in an anime where they fight people getting stronger is just a tournament arc.
I don't think you...
Because the winner is the person who doesn't die. Anyway, that was my movie idea.
Alright. Well, you want to lead the discussion on?
Yes, so my pick was the silent film Shen Nu or The Goddess. And that came out in 1934. So the main plot, it's a pretty simple plot. This woman, she has a son, a little baby, and she doesn't have any money. The only source of income is she is a sex worker. She's a prostitute. She sleeps with men for money. And she's, like, ridiculed for it. And very early on in the film, she meets, like, this gangster, like, mafia guy. And he, like, follows her around, and he's very, very fucking creepy. And then at one point, he breaks into her house and says that he has sold her baby for $200.
Yep.
And she freaks the fuck out, and he was lying. The baby was just in the other room. But he pretty much makes her... He pretty much becomes her pimp, but also kind of her boyfriend. And forces himself into this relationship. And then it does a time skip to when her, like, child's in school.
Yeah. Probably like 7 to 9, maybe.
Yeah. Like, quite a few years, and it's literally the same thing that's going on. Has to give most of her money to this guy, but she's hiding some of it in this small little hole in the wall so that she can give her son like a good education, and because like she makes sure that she puts her son into the school so that he can get a good education and not fall into like the same downfalls of like becoming like somebody in the mafia or a sex worker or anything that like poor people have to do because they're poor and they don't have an education, especially in the 30s. And then there's a bunch of people that like know she's a sex worker and constantly ridicule her for it. They try to get her son kicked out of school for it. And the principal, I think it's the principal.
Yeah.
He like comes around and he's like,
because at first he plans on expelling the boy.
Yeah, and then she goes into this big monologue about how like he can't. It's because like she's trying her best. All she wants is like what's best for her son.
Yeah,
and like she can't do anything else. And he decides, he's like, "You're right. It's my job to help the youth, no matter what." And like, you're obviously a good person. You're just trying to do what's best for your child. And then, but the school doesn't see it that way, and he quits because they won't let the son stay. And she's on this like downward spiral. She finds out that her boyfriend / evil boy stole all her money. He found the hiding place, and then she confronts him, and he had spent it all.
Yeah,
and then they get into an altercation, and she kills him.
Yeah,
and then she gets arrested, and the principal comes by and is like, "I'm so sorry that this happened," and is like, "I will raise your son and teach him myself." And she's like, "Don't tell him what happened to me," pretty much.
And this particular scene is my biggest gripe with the film. Because he's just
and then the movie ends.
Yeah, because she's basically like, she's like, "Don't tell my son about me, you know, I don't want him to like have to know like what a dishonorable woman I was." And the dude basically just like puts a hand on her shoulder, pats it a couple times, and leaves. And it's like, if I was that like principal dude, I'd be like, "No, dude, I'm going to tell him about you, and I'm going to tell him that you were a fucking strong woman who did her best to give him a good life. And that he should fucking take solace in that and know that society is wrong and not his mother."
I mean, well, I think the thing is, like, this film's super progressive.
Yeah.
The 30s China, like, even today,
I was going to say, because like,
sex workers are ridiculed every single day, pretty much, and discriminated against still today everywhere. America, China, everywhere. So having something that's so progressive in the 30s in China is like really strong. And I don't know if it was the director's choice or if that was just like his opinion to have the guy do that, but it feels like even the principal's still like not necessarily okay with her being a sex worker. So like that's why I saw him doing that, because he's trying to do the right thing, but he's still trying to get over his own personal prejudices and stuff. I fucking love this movie. I try to watch more silent films, but I haven't seen a ton. But I really, really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I'd probably put this on the upper end of silent movies I've seen. Because when I watch a lot of silent movies, it's a lot of like fantastical, like fantasy kind of stuff, like Trip to the Moon or Nosferatu, or like things along those kind of lines where it's, you know, or hell, even like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton, there's a certain like level of like fantasy to like their physical comedy. But to see a like silent movie that was like so grounded, it felt like I was watching just like real people. Like there are like certain like close-up shots where I'm like, it looks like they just have a camera in a room. And obviously like they're doing like kind of like over animated like body expressions sometimes because it's a silent movie.
Yeah, every silent film, and especially like early silent films. And even though this was like later on, this was after like sound.
Sound had already. I don't know about over in China. I don't know a whole lot about like
early China cinema. I don't either.
Yeah, but I know that like Dracula had been made like 3 years before over here in America, and that one has sound, and so had Frankenstein and the Mummy. The talkie had been invented.
But one thing I noticed is, like, when I watch a lot of early cinema, I look at the sets, and they're either way too cluttered, like they feel like they're trying too hard to make it look real, or that they're just like, there's just nothing on the set. It's like, what the fuck? But I felt that, like, every set in this movie, I don't know if it was just a house or if they were just great sets, but, like, everything felt
it looks like they were
grounded and real. Like, and I was just pretty impressed with that, though, because like I said, in a lot of other films I've seen, it just doesn't look real. Like, even right at the beginning, there's a transition that I really like of her, like, tucking in her child and then leaving her house, and it's like a outside shot of her, like, run-down, shitty apartment, and then it, like, transitions into, like, this skyscraper, like, lighting up. And I was just like, yes, that's great!
Yeah, there's a shot later in the movie where it's like, I think it's right after her son is expelled and after she finds out that her pimp friend had been stealing her money, and she, like, just looks absolutely fucking broken. And she's, like, walking, and they do, like, that kind of, like, trick where they're, like, showing, like, the lights on the buildings, and she's, like, walking, and she just, like, looks fucking pissed. And I was like, that was a really good shot.
That actress, she's...
Yeah, she was great.
She unfortunately killed herself, like, right after this movie was made.
Oh my god.
Like a year later. She was, apparently, like, she was a pretty prominent figure in, like, Chinese silent films, and she was, like, 25, and she killed herself.
Oh, shit.
It's so fucking shitty, but because she's incredible in this film.
Yeah.
Like, really, like,
now
her and the principal, I thought both had, like, because all you can really look at is, like, their facial expressions, because you can't hear their delivery.
Yeah.
But both of them, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, subtle enough to where, like, you can tell what emotions that they were feeling, but it wasn't, like, hammy or, like, over the top. It all felt very genuine.
And, like, I'm always worried with dialogue in silent films when they have to cut to another screen where it just shows, like, dialogue, because at some point it's just like, well, now I'm just watching a slideshow of words.
Yeah.
So I was worried, but then, like, this movie changed my mind about that, because there were times where it was, like, 3 or 4 screens of just dialogue, but it was just, like, so well written.
Yeah.
And, like, especially, like, the principal's monologue about, like, how it was
we have a moral responsibility.
Yeah, we have a moral responsibility to these children to do everything in our power to help them succeed. And, like, the way he was standing and just, like, his presence in that scene, like, made that... Like, that literally gave me goosebumps. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I was, like, shocked.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very great, especially considering the time period it came out in. And the fact that you mentioned that she was, like, that she committed suicide very shortly after this movie... like, I'm not very surprised, because one of the things I was going to say before you even brought that up is, like, she did a fantastic job at, like, portraying, like, just someone who looks fucking miserable.
Sure.
And it might be because she actually was, which is very sad. But, I mean, it's a form of acting.
Yeah, no, she was 24 when she died.
Oh my god, that's even worse. It's a year younger than you said originally.
Yeah, she purposely overdosed.
Damn.
Apparently she was having a lot of issues, like, from, like, tabloid reporters being super hostile, and she had a bunch of private problems going on, just like...
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was, like, the fucking Wild West for that kind of shit back then, because, I mean, film was, like, a pretty new form. Like, it had only become, like, really prominent, like, in the 20s, and so it's, like, dealing with, like, issues like stalkers and fucking just shitty industry shit. I'm sure she probably, if it's anything like it was over here, I'm sure that there were fucking slimy movie producers and directors who just wanted to, like, objectify her, probably. I'd imagine. I don't know what, like we were saying earlier, I don't know what, like, early Chinese cinema was really like, or, like, the methods behind the filmmaking or anything, but yeah, no, that's really sad.
Yeah. I was pretty depressed when I saw it, because I was like, oh.
I think that's the most depressed I've, like, felt about an actor's suicide since, like, immediately after I watched Patch of Blue for the first time. I found out that the lead actress in that had killed herself.
Yeah.
Granted, it was, like, 20 years
later. Yeah, she was, like, 45, right, or something?
Yeah, it was, like, right after she voiced a character in The Secret of Nim, when she, like, killed herself. She was, like, I want to say... it's been a while since I, like, read the thing about it, but I want to say she, like, was checked in and was, like, under suicide watch. Like, I think she had attempted it before, and she wasn't successful, and I think she tried it again. I don't know. I'm not gonna... don't take that as fact, because I haven't looked at that in a while, but... I
do want to watch... I really wish this was, like, in my... Like, it came out in 91, so it's not quite available, but there's a film called Center Stage by this guy named Stanley Kwan, and it's a kind of like a biopic of Ruan Lingyu, which is that woman.
Okay.
Which I've heard, like, apparently it's a very good film. Or at least it's inspired by, so I'll probably have to check that out soon, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed this film. It wasn't, like, my favorite silent film. I do think there were a couple times where it was just a little draggy, I guess. I thought that...
would your ranking go, like, The Dancing Pig and then this one?
This is better than The Dancing Pig.
Whoa, dude. Hold on a minute.
I thought that the villain in it, the main guy, is just, like... And it's a problem with a lot of silent film villains. He's like, oh, I'm too evil, with, like, no real reason why. I'm just a dickhead. Which, like, it wasn't too bad that it wasn't, like, grounded. Like, it was relatively grounded, but it was probably the most unbelievable portion of this. Like, I would say that the film's pretty much incredibly grounded, but then this guy's just, like... I felt he's just a little too forced for me.
I can get that, but I don't know. Like, it didn't really bother me personally too much, because, like, I thought there was quite a bit about this film by, like, today's standards that felt like a little bit general.
Yeah.
And I just kind of, like, grouped that in with that. And, I don't know, like, his motivations, like, I didn't need, like, a whole lot. Like, I understood that he was, like, a gangster type and, you know, money, sex. Really the only two very realistic motivations that'll drive lots of men to do terrible, terrible, god-awful, fucking horrible things.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was like...
did you watch the version on just YouTube, or...?
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube. The version I watched was like an hour and 13 to 15
So it had
minutes.
the music accompanying it?
Yeah.
So that's, I actually wanted to talk about that for a second. That's the Turner Classic Movies edition. They like, re-released it in, like, 2008 or something.
Okay.
And that has music that's composed by Donald Sosin. like that he like composed specifically to accompany the film.
I figured because I was like watching it, and I'm like,
and it fits. Like
I actually
thought it was a pretty good composition. I was surprised. I really enjoyed most of it.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
And apparently, like that's his. Like he just makes compositions for old silent films. Like that's just his job. That's just all he does. I'm like, that's great.
Yeah, there should be people like that because there's lots of silent films that could benefit from having like a real passionate score attached to it. But like, I'm sure a lot of them are just like people like, oh yeah, I'm uploading this onto YouTube and it doesn't have any sound. Let me add my chill wave synth beats to this or something. Or generic sad or old-timey music to accompany this movie. But, you know, there's really, like...
What?
I can't think of, like, much to say on this film, because it was a very, like, simple movie, but it was very effective.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we gotta say. What was the shot that you really liked before? Of her, like, looking really pissed? Was it the close-up of her face?
It was like, here, let me...
So there's a scene, like, right before she kills him, pretty much, where she, like, grabs him, and it's, like, a close-up of her face, and she just looks, like, pissed. Was that the one?
No, it's when she's...
I love that shot.
I'm pretty sure it's when she's on the way to that scene, where she's, like, walking.
That whole scene and surrounding it was pretty great. It had some pretty good shots.
And also, another shot where I was like, oof, was, like, when she's on, like, her trial or whatever, when they sentence her, and, like, you see her, like, at her, like, little podium or whatever you'd call it, and, she just had this, like, just absolutely fucking defeated look on her face, like, bags under her eyes. I was like, holy shit. This looks like someone who's being put on trial for murder.
There's some... probably my favorite parts of the film were, like, there were these really great, like, monologues or, like, talks. Like, the interactions between her and the principal and the staff. And then I really loved her interactions with her son. They were very sweet and very endearing. And this movie's fucking sad. Like, the ending's fucking kind of brutal. Like,
yeah.
Oh. And it's just like, it's a pretty sad tale. It's pretty true. Like, this woman's just forced to continue to do this because she's discriminated against. She can't get another job.
I'm sure throughout, like, history and various different locations, there have been several women who were like this woman. Yeah. Who went through a very similar experience, if not pretty much the same thing. I mean, maybe not, like, exactly the same thing. Maybe she didn't fucking... Maybe people don't always end with the, you know... With the bottle on the head and the 12 years in prison and adoption of the son. And
I think where the reason why I thought the writing was so good for her was I was reading about this, and the director said that, like, he's like, I couldn't write, like, with the sole intention of, like, making this about a sex worker because I don't live that life. I don't really know that. Yeah. But he's like, I do have... Or I don't know if he said he had a kid, but he's like, I do know what it's like to, like, have a kid or something. So he wrote it mainly about her and her child, which I think is what's so, like, powerful is because, like, in this film that's, like, centered around this person that's, like, the main draw is, like, oh, she's a sex worker.
Yeah, because there's no, like, sex scenes or not even, like, it's just there's, like, one suggestive scene that implies she sleeps with somebody, and they didn't even pay her for it. Like, it was her pimp guy who was like, hey, you know, I just saved you from that cop. How you can return that favor? And she's just kind of like,
But he made it that she's like a real person, that she cares about her son. That's her main thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what's so important. Like, it would have been so easy to be like, her main, like, trait is that she's a sex worker. And I think it's important in any cinema to, like, not put someone's job as their main trait.
Yeah.
Especially if that job's discriminated against so much. It's good to humanize these people because they're humans and they deserve our respect.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of, like, effect this movie had, like, upon its release. Like, I wonder what, like, the general, like, feedback is. Because obviously, like, time, because I know that it's, like, a very, like, acclaimed movie, but I wonder if it was like that when it, like, premiered. I can definitely see a lot of people probably having very ugly things to say about this movie, especially in the 30s.
Apparently, like, it was pretty well received when it first came out, but people aren't, like, that might just be because she was a pretty, like, huge actress at the time, so. But, like, whew. Oh my god, I just realized that, so this guy, Wu Yonggang, that was his first film. This was his first film, yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to check out some of his other movies if they, like, lasted this long or anything. Assuming they're not, like, lost.
I don't think he made that much else from what I was looking at, but he died in, like, 82. Yeah, he made, like, very little else. He made something like 36. There's something he made in, like, 56 that nobody on Letterboxd has seen, apparently. But he made a movie.
Probably just hasn't been translated.
Yeah, there's like some other movies he made, but like nobody's seen here. Oh god, Thomas is spilling.
I'm sorry. I didn't spill very much. Let me go grab a paper towel.
Paper towel. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I might. It's probably something I'm going to rewatch, and it's probably something that might grow on me on a second watch, but Thomas, you looking for a paper towel?
Yes.
Hold on, everybody. We're doing a little dance. The paper towels are missing.
Should I just use one?
Yeah. We're back, everybody. We were looking for a paper towel, but there are none. Anyway, Thomas, what did you give the film?
Probably like a... See, I don't know. I always have a hard time reading silent movies because I never know whether to judge them by like the standard of the time they were made or by my standards now. But seeing as I live in the 21st century, I think I'm going to go with my standards now and give this movie a 7.
And I'm going to go with my quality is what I thought, how much I enjoyed the film, which is usually what I do, which is fine with me. I'm going to give this movie a 9. I really fucking like this movie. So our average is an 8. You should definitely watch it. If you haven't watched it, it's on YouTube. It's not very long.
Yeah, it's like an hour.
If you want to get into silent films, or if you want to get into Chinese cinema as well, like,
yeah, good
either way, like, great movie, jeez. But yeah, now we're going to talk about another great movie.
Yeah, you could say
so
that.
Thomas really wanted to watch this movie. He was messaging me every day. Did you watch it yet? It was called Last of the Living. Yeah. Want to give us a rundown on the plot?
Yeah. Well, hold on. I want to share a little bit about my personal relationship with this movie.
Okay.
It's real brief. It doesn't take long. When I was like 10 to like 15, I was like obsessed with zombie media. Like I loved zombie comics, zombie TV shows, zombie movies. And this is like a little bit before the Walking Dead craze when I first saw this movie. Walking Dead hadn't been like released out into the world yet, at least not the like AMC show. And so I would basically just watch anything that had zombies in it. One day, I was at Walmart. I was looking through their DVD section, and they had this nice little zombie gem DVD that was called Last of the Living, and the DVD said that it was even funnier than Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland, because I think that Zombieland had come out right around the time that I had picked this movie up, and I think probably like roughly about the same year. And I watched it once when I was 12, and I hated it. And I still have the DVD, and I was trying to get revenge on London for making me watch fucking Ghostmates last week. And I gave him the choice of like 3 words. He could have chose either Schindler's List, Gooby or this. And he missed out. We almost watched Gooby. Gooby would have been good. But we watched this instead. And, yeah, this movie's bad. It's basically a zombie apocalypse.
Bad ass, you mean?
It's bad and it's ass, alright. Yeah, basically, it's zombie apocalypse. 3 dudes, like, basically survive together. And they come across a woman and her father in a church. She's like, they're both like super smart scientists who have a blood sample that could cure the zombie virus. And basically, her dad dies. These incompetent fools destroy the blood sample. Then, basically, they have to go to a hospital to extract another blood sample, and then they have to fly
to an island.
Yeah, to an island. I don't remember which island. They have to fly to an island and then get it to a team of scientists who are over there, and they're gonna whip up a cure. And basically, it's just about the second half of the movie is about their journey to go try to cure the zombies, and the first half is really nothing. It's just following these 3 fucking assholes. These characters are all extremely unlikable. I don't like this movie.
I don't either.
The movie begins with this beautiful scene of one of the 4 main characters just walking through an empty city in some fucking...
It's like the opening scene of 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Except for whatever reason, there's no cars anywhere.
Yeah, and he also doesn't wake up from a coma or anything. This is like a dream sequence or something.
Honestly, this was probably one of the better scenes in the movie, if I'm going to be honest. It wasn't very good.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably be inclined to agree with you, maybe. I don't know. The entire movie was pretty shit. So, I'd probably say the best scene was the one with the priest, but even then, it was eh.
Yeah, we'll get on.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
For this zombie comedy, did you laugh a single time? In any form of laughter?
So there was a lot of licensed music in the film. Just every scene, it seemed, they would just suddenly start playing music. I'm like, ugh. But a couple of times they played the song Last of the Living.
Yeah.
And at one point I was just like, what if they were saying Last of the Lemons? And I'm like, because we're the last of the lemons! Because it kind of sounds like that. So I laughed at that.
Okay.
Which was my own joke. Does that count?
I wouldn't count that as a laugh towards the film.
No.
Yeah, I didn't laugh once either.
And I don't necessarily laugh at things that I find funny all the time.
It depends.
If something's very funny, I'll laugh. But if I just think, I'm like, that's pretty good, I'll just smile. I just don't laugh a lot at movies sometimes. So, but I didn't find anything funny either.
Yeah. No, nothing about this movie, tickled my insides. I didn't get one single fucking ounce of amusement out of it.
There were a couple points that I'm like, hey, that's not too bad, I guess. I at least appreciate the effort that they put into not making the ending a happy ending, I guess.
Yeah, the thing I remembered most about this movie, was its very just dark, I guess, ending.
Out of the 3 guys, one of them gets bit at the end, or 30 minutes before the end, which is unfortunate because I think out of
5 minutes before the end.
No, the first guy.
The drummer?
Yeah, it's not 5 minutes. It's
It's like 10 minutes. It's not long because like basically after they find the girl,
they have to get the plane.
From that point on, like that's like
maybe like 15 minutes.
The movie from that point is very like snappy because not much happens in this movie. Like our last movie, this film is very simple. Not a whole lot happens in it,
and it's also ingenious. No,
only the difference is between the last film and this film. The last film was actually fucking good.
Yeah. What I was going to say, though, is the first guy to die, I actually thought he was the least obnoxious out of all of them. And I'm like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
There was some fucked up shit they said at the beginning. There
was a fucked up thing he said. Because there's like that part where he talks about...
having sex with the zombies?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like... He, implies that he was going to, force himself onto the zombie. It's just very creepy.
Yeah, because the entire, so basically...
so both him and this, the other, main guy are yeah, we're really sexy. We like to sex women. And then the other guy, he's a nerd, and he's like, oh, I'm a nice guy. He literally says, I'm a nice guy. Why won't women have sex with me? He pretty much says, it's so obnoxious.
Yeah. All right. So, Morgan is the guy who wears the wife beater and has the, baseball cap. Johnny is the drumstick guy, the dude who you find the least obnoxious out of the group. Ashley, or Ash, is the nice guy. And
they like to call him... They like to emasculate him a lot.
Yeah.
That's their running joke the entire film. It's
he's a woman, or he's gay.
He's wearing armor. What a loser.
Yeah, and it's he's the last one to live. Ha ha.
He's the last of the lemons.
And then the girl's name, I think, is Steph, but it sounds like they're saying stiff.
It's Steph. Yeah. Just that New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. I like New Zealand films, but oof.
Yeah, this is not a good one. This is no Taika Waititi movie.
He should remake it.
I don't know. If Taika Waititi wants to make a zombie movie, I'm all in. But if he wants to remake Last of the Living, I'm
also in, but I'm
just because it's Taika Waititi, I'd be like, you couldn't just make a different zombie movie and call it something else? All right, whatever. But yeah, no, this movie was insufferable.
I kept zoning out because it's I was just so bored with it as well because nothing happened, and then every time I would zone back in, I'd be like, "There's another offensive joke that's not funny."
Yeah, the gay bar. The gay bar! And he says it 3-4 times, and I was like, holy shit.
Just every joke was full of stupid.
Oh, yeah, let me read some of my notes.
I didn't even take notes. I'm I'm not gonna fucking take notes.
Movie begins with cheesy, slow song, the character walking. Some bad jokes where they try calling people where they used to know to hook up. And even rating zombie versions of girls while. I never finished that thought. I don't know while. Wow. I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be.
Playing video games.
Talking about eating beers and chips. Oh my god, I'm glad I opened my notes just for this one specific note. I forgot about this until I looked. The first zombie we see in the movie is Morgan. There's a scene where they're going to the grocery store or whatever, and he's like, I gotta take a piss, and he pulls over, and a zombie walks up, and you see her face, and they literally just use the fucking opposite of the fisheye, the pinch effect on her face, and I was like, what the? I rewound it. I'm like, did they really just do that? Did they really just try to pass that off as a zombie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Literally, the film's just fucking incompetent throughout. But, like I said, the only thing that I found at least somewhat redeemable...
I did slightly giggle at one part.
Okay.
It was the part where Johnny is, it happens around the same point in the film as the zombie with the pinch face, but when he goes up into that, like, building, when he sees, like, the woman on the roof, and he, like, has that little, it's not like a fire extinguisher, but it, like, shoots water, and it looks like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck?
But I don't know if that's, like, a thing over in New Zealand, but he's like, what does he say? Want some water, mate? And then he, like, squirts the zombie and then hits it with the thing. And it was like, it was trying to be a badass one-liner, but it was, like, so just, like, vanilla.
Want some water, man?
So I laughed at that one. I thought that one was kind of funny. Though they had one joke that kind of landed.
It only landed because it was so creepy. Funny.
Huh?
The whole film's just really creepy. These guys are just really creepy, and then they introduce this woman, and they're just really creepy around her. And I was like, I'm so uncomfortable.
Every single one of them, at least at first, wants to fuck her. I think Johnny kind of, like, strayed away from that, because they didn't really want to focus extra time on the third one wanting to, I guess. And he had that whole, like, dispute with, this is my car! With her earlier, but there's, like, that scene where Morgan's... Oh, God, this scene was fucking the worst, but where, like, she's extracting the blood in the lab, and they each, like, take their turns, like, sleeping or whatever. And Morgan's in there, and he's just trying desperately to get this... to get Stiff to go out with him. And she's obviously not biting, but he just won't stop, and it's like, oh my god, this hurts. What is the goal here? To make me cringe until I die?
Maybe.
Does this movie want to wipe out every fucking living person on Earth? Was that the goal? That way there's one person who didn't watch this movie and they're the last of the living? I don't fucking know. I hated it.
I did too. Like I said, the only, like, even redeemable part I thought was, like, at least they didn't, like, give it, like, a happy ending.
Yeah, like, so basically...
So at the end, like, one of them Johnny gets bit, and then goes and fights a bunch of zombies.
He has this fucking berserker move that was, like, fucking brought up earlier in the movie, because he's
like, I'm gonna do it one day, and then he does it. I'm like, well, cool.
He kind of does it, and then the zombie comes up and bites his leg, and he fucks up then. It's just like, oh, guess he kind of didn't do it.
It's literally just him spinning around.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he's like, it's undodgeable. And I'm like, even as a joke, that's not funny.
Yeah.
Because it's just stupid.
And then
Steph gets bitten, and they're in a plane, and they're like, oh, better throw her out.
She's like, I've got about an hour before I turn, so let me fly you to this island. And it's like, okay, yeah, because it takes an hour to fly to an... Granted, I don't know where this island that they're going is.
I mean, if it's right off the coast of New Zealand, that's theoretically, like... Fun.
Yeah, but I don't know. I imagine flying a plane takes a little while. Probably even if it's a short distance, I would imagine just the process of getting to the plane, starting the plane, flying to your destination, landing the plane, all within an hour.
She turned into a zombie in the middle of the flight, and they threw her out with a parachute.
Yeah.
And then they land the plane, and then Morgan gets bitten and turns into a zombie.
Yeah, they get to the island, and the scientists, like, fucked up their cure and created, like, super zombies that are fast. That's, like, their thing. When they can swim, I guess.
And then Morgan becomes a super zombie, and then chases Ashley.
And he
gets in a boat. And he's, like, paddling away.
He's like, I've got the cure! And then he drops it in the ocean, and gets knocked out of his hand,
and then Morgan... It's like, oh, and then he hits him with a paddle, and then the movie kind of just ends.
Yeah, he basically lost his weapon and his paddle. And
that was my favorite scene.
He's just out in a boat in the middle of the ocean near a bunch of fucking super zombies. That's like the best part of the movie, because it's like the only part that leaves you feeling like any sort of emotion, because it's like, oh, what a fucking dark ending to this fucking stupid comedy.
At least they had the balls to do that, I guess.
Yeah, maybe the characters were meant to be, like, really unlikable, and we were just meant to, like, watch them die.
But everything else about the film was poorly done.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the constant licensing of the music, like, literally, like, in the same scene, they would play, like, 4 different songs.
Yeah.
And all the shots were just fucking terrible. And I get it, it's a super low-budget film. But...
Yeah.
Fuck that. Make it better. There's no excuse. You can do a great low-budget film.
Yeah, the problem with most low-budget movies like this is not normally the budget, but the script.
And that script was...
Because there have been great low-budget movies that have great scripts. And you can even do, like, a zombie apocalypse with a low budget. You just have to think about it and go about it carefully and, like, use your limitations to your advantage.
You do a zombie apocalypse film with no zombies in the movie ever. It's just about people hauled up in a house slowly dying of starvation.
You could.
That's my movie idea for next week. Called it.
There you go.
That's a good... We should make that. That sounds good. Like, just a small, like, slice of life film. But then you find out later on that they're actually, like, stuck in this house because, like, there's a zombie apocalypse outside. And they're slowly losing their food. And then they just end up dying at the end. That's a good movie.
Sounds, it doesn't sound too similar, but, like, the plot of Night of the Living Dead is somewhat similar. I mean, it takes place in a night, and they don't have to worry about food, and obviously they realize, like, you realize from the beginning there are zombies outside, but about a bunch of people held up in a house trying to survive zombies. See, that's a good low-budget zombie movie.
Yeah.
And that was the fucking, first one. No excuses.
Yeah. Oh, so, do you have any other thoughts on this film you want to bring up?
Not really.
Did they make anything else?
I don't know. The DVD I have is a double feature with this other movie called Play Dead. But this movie left such a bad taste in my mouth when I was a kid that I never bothered watching the other one.
It looks like,
I don't know.
The director didn't do anything else, and the people that played Morgan, Johnny, and Ash weren't in anything else. The guy who plays the dad's, like, he was in all 3 Hobbit films and King Kong and Meet the Feebles. It was Mark Hadlow, But, I mean, if you're in New Zealand, you can probably just go up to Peter Jackson and go, "Hey, put me going to be in your movie." He's also in King Kong.
Who's he in King Kong?
Harry.
Is he like one of the fucking like Hollywood producers or something?
I think so. But and then it doesn't on Letterboxd. It doesn't have the woman there. So let me try to see. Wow, Ashley's name in real life is Ashley. That's some great scripting.
Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe they wrote this genius script, and they're like, "We need an Ashley," and then just coincidentally, some guy named Ashley came and read for it.
I can't find the character of Steph on IMDb.
She's just like, she's like, don't credit me. This character didn't even fucking exist in the movie. I'm sure if I can like look at the DVD later and find her name or something, see if she's in anything else, but probably not if we take the history of the director and basically everyone else in this movie, minus the...
Here we go. Emily Patton Brown. Emily Patton Brown. We're solving this riddle.
I'm sorry if you hear this, like maybe, like the people who made this film, maybe they'll look up their movie on YouTube or something. And be like,
what are people thinking about it now? She was in a movie called Only the Young Die Good.
Huh.
It has 6 ratings on IMDb.
That's a lot.
You know?
Yeah, surely they would have realized that this film is bad by this point. 10 years later? When was the film made? 2009? 2008?
I believe so. 2009.
Yeah, so 10 years later, It's been a whole decade since this
I
gem.
just want to go ahead and look at some of the other films released in the year 2009 and just see how this one really stacks up into it.
Well, Zombieland is its main competitor.
Yeah. Inglourious Bastards came out that year. That's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
Up.
It's a good movie.
Avatar.
The James Cameron one?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's good, but, it was a spectacle.
Better than this fucking
Fantastic Mr. Fox. You haven't seen it.
Hmm?
Right?
I've seen, bits and pieces of it.
Harry Potter 6. I didn't like that one.
I stopped the one before that.
That's because 5's bad. Antichrist came out in 2009.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love that movie. Yeah, so, watch any of those films instead of this. You know what? Transformers Revenge of the Fallen came out in 2009, and I would say that those are pretty on par with each other.
Yeah, I guess I would have seen that around the same time, because I went and saw that one in theaters,
Jesus Christ.
That was the last Transformers movie I saw in theaters.
That one's so fucking bad.
Because that's number
bad.
2, right?
Yeah, the other ones are bad, but Jesus Christ, that one's terrible. I haven't seen 5, though.
To be fair, I didn't even really like the first one.
I liked it. I like the robot designs. I think the robots look pretty good, even still.
To be fair, I've never been a huge Transformers fan.
Understandable. I was a really big fan of the animated movie.
You got the touch.
You got the power! Yeah!
Doesn't Orson Welles voice the bad guy?
Unicron, yep.
Isn't there... There is that famous
it.
behind-the-scenes, rant that he does that they caught on fucking audio where he's just talking about how shit the script is. I forgot about that.
Thomas, what'd you give Last Living out of 10?
I give it a fucking 1. I hated this.
I'm gonna give it a 10. Just kidding. I'm gonna give it a 1.
Wow. Alright, don't fucking watch this movie.
This is officially so far the worst film. Because even Ghostmates, I think I gave it 2.
I think I gave that one a 1, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. So that had a 1.5.
I'm 2 1s in a row. I normally don't rate that low.
And I rate 1s all the time, so Ghostmates, I'm like, it wasn't as bad as...
Yeah, it's normally pretty rare if I put a film on the very bottom or the very top of my spectrum.
Oh. Yeah, so, don't watch this film. I like how we spent an hour talking about just movies I've watched and video games, and then we spent less than that time talking about both the movies of this week.
Like I said, both these movies are pretty simple.
Yeah, but
One's simple and
I just want to reiterate, I definitely think you should watch The Goddess.
Yeah, check out The Goddess. It's an hour long. And if you don't... I don't like black and white movies. I don't like movies where they don't talk. I don't like movies made before the year 1990. Well, guess what? You're wrong, and you should watch this movie. Specifically,
Pierre, you wouldn't like this movie. Don't watch it.
Pierre, you would love this movie. Watch it. It's got a prostitute in it, Pierre. Watch it.
Pierre's afraid of those.
Well, he should watch this movie and learn to love them. That they're people, too.
So, there's this director named
Tell me why so.
Lav Diaz. Have you heard of him?
Not off the top of my
He's
head.
a Filipino independent filmmaker. He's known as one of the key members of the slow cinema movement.
What the fuck is that?
As in,
never
some
heard
of his films are some of them are some of the longest narrative films on record. I really want to watch some of his films, and I was thinking about putting one up, but I asked you if you'd be okay with a 4-hour film. You said no. Because all of his films are at least 4 hours. There's a movie he made called Evolution of a Filipino Family. Mm-hmm. It came out in 2004 that I've heard is really fucking good. It also happens to be 10 hours and 40 minutes long.
God, if I wasn't working a fucking 40-hour work week, I probably would. But
there's also one called Norte, The End of History.
I've heard of that one.
That's what I wanted to watch. That's 4 hours and 10 minutes, though.
I think I've heard about it from you.
Maybe. There's so many I really would like to see, but they're all like, they did another one called Melancholia. Not the...
I was going to say, is not the Lars von Trier
film. No, but this one happens to be 8 hours, so...
Oh my dear fucking lord.
He just does it.
Has he got the memo that there's like...
Even last year he made a movie called Season of the Devil that's 3 hours and 54 minutes.
He realizes, like, really long movies exist now in the form of TV shows, right?
Yeah, but I get it. Like, TV show, like, I would love to watch a long form movie like that.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like a different flow to it, and it'd be different from like a TV show, because TV shows obviously have their points where the episodes like build and have to come to some sort of like climactic episode ending or cliffhanger.
Oh, okay, I figured out my pick. I totally forgot about this. So what, Thomas? You got classic next week. So what are we watching?
All right.
Am I picking something?
Pick between a house and an elephant.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was speaking fucking French right there. I said pick between a house and an elephant.
I hope these are just really straightforward, and house is going to be house, and elephant is going to be the elephant man. So I'm going to pick house.
Alright. The house was for The Housemaid from 1960. Which is a movie.
A bad movie?
This is one of the movies that really inspired Parasite, apparently. Yeah. So that's the one you picked. That's the one we'll watch. And yes, the other one was The Elephant Man.
Fuck, I do also want to see that movie quite a lot.
I mean,
but I also want to see The Housemaid.
I haven't seen The Housemaid. I've seen The Elephant Man, so.
The Housemaid, you can rent it on Amazon. That's the only thing that, like, I can see on the Just Watch app. That's the easiest way. It's $4 to rent if you'd like to watch it. Or maybe you have a DVD of it lying around.
Maybe, or maybe that there's, like, something on the internet you could do to find a movie. Yeah, it's something involving a DVD.
Yeah.
Perhaps... Maybe it's London's making dead. Oh god.
Okay. So is that a Korean film?
Yeah.
I don't like those people.
Just Jesus.
Even though like South Korean films are like probably my favorite. So I'm picking a Japanese film. It's actually by the director of Houseu.
Oh, okay.
It's called Hanagatami. Hanagatami.
Let me get a screenshot of like the IMDb or Letterboxd for this, that way I don't forget it. Me making car noises while going to IMDb. Oh no, I'm not signed into IMDb. Let me go over to Letterboxd.
So, this was the director of Houseu. This was like one of the first movies he like came up with in like the 70s, but it didn't get produced for 40 years, and he made it in 2017.
Oh wow.
And apparently it's very good. It's about 3 hours. Hey, I didn't pick a 4 hour long movie.
Let's see.
It actually came out like exactly 40 years after Houseu, which is pretty neat. If you haven't seen Houseu or House, you should watch it. It's a masterpiece. I love it. It's brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Brilliant. And that's the only thing I've seen from him, though, so I'm very excited to see something else. Hanagatami.
Okay.
Found it?
Yeah.
Okay. has a cool poster.
It does have a pretty cool poster.
Let me see if you, all audience members, can watch it. Hanagatami. Oh, good luck finding it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not available anywhere, apparently.
Well, hopefully we can find it.
Hopefully.
Guess we'll have to track down a DVD copy on the internet. And totally not, Oh man, if only.
And, if of course I can't find it, then right here, I'm going to be inserting me going, hey guys, this is my actual pick because I couldn't fucking find a copy of the movie anywhere.
Just message me if that happens.
Anyway, that's it for the podcast, I think.
Yeah. Special side note, we finally got our actual hot dog attire that you see in the
have
thumbnails.
A hot dog costume.
Yeah.
You see it on the banner.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We already talked about that. I forgot. Right at the very fucking beginning.
Yep. It's just, it was 2 hours ago. I get it. We're tired. We got off work 3 hours ago. I get it. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thanks, Pierre.
Yeah.
We know you're there.
Well, check out a movie from 1989.
He watched,
Tim Burton's Batman.
He watched. What did he watch with me? The thing. What's the one with the glasses? And you see the aliens.
Oh, They Live.
They Live. Yeah, he watched They Live with us.
Oh, nice.
He liked it.
Okay,
Pierre's a good man. Okay, Pierre's going to be on the podcast soon. It's going to happen. Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.